Bedwars is Hypixel's second most popular game mode. I think we all know what's first, skyblock. But with that being said, there's been a bunch of updates since the release, including a bunch of secret updates that got removed right after. Bedwars started in the prototype lobby. It was with 3 other games, Survival Dash, UHC Deathmatch, and Duels. As you might be able to tell, some of these prototype games evolved to be something great. In Bedwars, you start on a floating island with a bed. As long as your bed survives, you can respawn. But if your bed gets destroyed, it's game over. Collect resources and use them to upgrade yourself to help destroy the beds of your enemies. There weren't any forum posts until update 0.4, but this update introduced 2 new maps, Bulletum and Ashore, and many balance changes and released the 4v4v4v4 game mode, which is played by a lot of players. So just imagine today without that game mode. Honestly, would be crazy. While Bedwars was still in the prototype lobby, 2 other game modes suddenly disappeared and were replaced by other game ideas. Bedwars was a huge success, and seeing other games disappear and see Bedwars continue just showed that it was doing very, very well. And this next update was probably one of Bedwars' most important updates of all time. In Bedwars Update 0.5, they added solos and doubles game modes and some new maps for those. I'm honestly shocked to see that 3s and 4s were released before these. Why did they do that? Who knows. This next update was pretty small, but for those who like beating the Ender Dragon in Bedwars, this is for you. Instead of dragons spawning periodically at Deathmatch, there was now a fixed number. The next public update was going to be the official release. If you're curious as to what I mean by that, I was looking on the Hypixel forums and some of the updates weren't there, so let me know if you know where they are. Bedwars was now released in version 1.0. They made Bedwars a lobby with leaderboard statistics, a leveling system, and achievements. With that, there were new maps and bug fixes. This put the entire game together. Bedwars version 1.2 was also pretty small, but I wouldn't consider it a horrible update. It was the item shop update, which added clay, blast-proof glass, bridge eggs, haste, and a shop organization. There were also reworks for mobs and tools. Maybe this update wasn't so bad after all. Bedwars Update 1.4 would have honestly been really cool because they added a Bedwars capture game mode, new maps, a shop revamp, and a hotbar management. In capture, 2 teams must fight over control of the map by capturing resources, defending their beds, and attacking 5 control points. I wish they kept this update, but it makes sense why they didn't because it can be a bit confusing for new players. Now, the update I would consider the worst update is Bedwars 1.5. It added the Rush Dream game mode, aka the worst Dream game mode besides Armed. Now, I personally only play Dream game modes for quests, but this ruins it all. Why did Hypixel remove capture mode and keep this? And the next update was the second version of Rush, and it added achievement points. Now, the best Dream game mode of all time was added, Castle. Now, if you don't know what it is, it's basically a 40v40 with a bunch of added features and twists. It's pretty much known as the best way to prestige because of the amount of people you can play with, but not only that, it's just very fun to record videos on. Parser and Ozook. But for those that have been playing Bedwars recently, they may have seen an item rotation update. But before that, there was actually item rotations which got removed. In this update, they added pop-up towers for weekly item rotation. It turned out it was so good that they had to keep it. Yay! It's starting to feel like every update is a dream mode, but now it's Lucky Blocks. It's definitely up there as one of the best because it allows people not as good at the game to actually have a chance compared to every other game mode in existence. And plus, it's actually really fun to play because of all the new items. Actually, never mind, all the items are being added weekly for item rotations now. Bedwars version 1.6 finally came out in this update. They officially added pop-up towers to the item shop as a permanent item, added Voidless Dream game mode, which needs no explaining as it literally has what is in its name. The 4v4 game mode, which is dead in today's world, balancing changes, and a bunch of popular maps at the moment were added, but also some maps were removed. At this point, I'm just gonna stop including all these Dream updates because there are so many, but Lucky Blocks V2 has been added, which was actually really nice because it added a bunch of items and it added a Forza option. Bedwars Practice is probably one of my favorite updates ever added to Bedwars. It may seem silly, but it saved so much time from switching one server to another for this, and it just helped cure my boredom while I'm waiting for someone, or I'm just thinking about life. But if you don't know what Bedwars Practice is, it's on the right once you enter the Bedwars lobby. You can see how fast you can bridge to the other side, or otherwise you can make it to where you can go infinitely. I wonder if it is actually infinite, or if it eventually ends. Comment how far you've gotten, or the fastest time. If it wasn't for the challenges update, all content creators probably would have quit by now, or their channels would have died. This update was really good for content creation as it brought a bunch of challenges for people to do and speedrun. Now, besides map updates, this update was a year after the last one. It's honestly surprising how fast time goes by, but this update includes the brand new weekly item rotations. Every Wednesday, a brand new item will pop into the game. Although, I've been seeing a lot of Lucky Block items being added. Oh well. And probably by the time you're watching this video, or very close to when this video is coming out, there will be a huge Hypixel Bedwars update. And if you want to be notified as soon as it comes out, make sure to subscribe and like the video. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace!